Your task was to go through the solved examples and to try out these questions from exercise 7b. In this video, I'll be explaining the solutions to the given questions. So in question number 1, part 1, you can let that the fourth proportional is a variable x. So since it's the fourth proportional, we know that this is not a continued proportion, it's a regular proportion with 4 terms, and the last term we have to find out. So and write it as 1.5 is to 4.5 as 3.5 is to x. Then the product of the extremes will be equal to product of the means. So you can say 1.5x is equal to 4.5 into 3.5. So just solve for x and you will get the value as 10.5. In question number 2, part 2, you have to find the third proportional. So now you know that since it's third proportional, it's a case of continued proportion. And the proportion will be a minus b is to a square minus b square, as a square minus b square is to x. So we have to find the last term, which is the third proportional here. And again, the product of the extremes will be equal to product of the means. So you will write a minus b into x, product of the extremes, is equal to a square minus b square into a square minus b square, product of the means. So moving a minus b to the other side, it will come in the denominator. And then if you expand one of these terms, a square minus b square, a plus b into a minus b. The advantage of this is you can cancel a minus b term from both numerator and denominator, so that the final answer you can write as a plus b into a square minus b square. In the third question, you have to find the mean proportional. So again, mean proportional, it means that it's a case of continued proportion. So you can let it be x. Therefore, the given proportion is 6 plus 3 root 3 is to x, as x is to 8 minus 4 root 3. Again, the product of the extremes will be equal to product of the means. So you can express it like this. And if you expand the left hand side, you will get 4 terms. And on the right hand side, you will have a term of x square. And on the left hand side, if you simplify it further, it is actually just equal to 12. So x square will be equal to 12. Therefore, x will be equal to square root of 12. And if you split 12 as the prime factors, then you will see that root 12 you can also write as 2 root 3. In question number 4, you have to find out the value of x. So the proportion will be like this: x plus 2 is to x plus 5, as x plus 5 is to x plus 9. Again, if you use the concept of product of extremes equal to product of means, and then simplify and solve for x, you will find the value of x to be equal to 7. In question number 6, you have to add a least number to each of the numbers given so that it's in proportion. There are 4 numbers, so it's a regular proportion. So you can assume the least number to be added is some variable x. So that 6 plus x is to 15 plus x, as 20 plus x is to 43 plus x. So again, product of the extremes is equal to product of the means. Then you simplify it further and solve for x. You should find the value of x to be equal to 3. In question number 7, part 1, you have to prove equation, right? And given is a, b, c are in continued proportion. So from this information, you can say that a is to b as b is to c, or a by b equal to b by c. This is the meaning of ABC being in continued proportion. And also product of the extremes is AC, product of the means is b square. So a square will be equal to b square. AC will be equal to b square. Now you can try to simplify the left hand side and the right hand side separately and see whether they are equal or not. So left hand side is a square plus b square by b into a plus c. You can replace the b square in the numerator with the term AC. And once you do that, you see that a is a common factor in the numerator. So you write a into a plus c. Then there is a term of a plus c which can be cancelled from the numerator and denominator, so that the left hand side is equal to a by b. For the right hand side, you can replace this b square in the denominator with AC, and then you will see that c is common in the denominator, so you can write c into a plus c. Again, a plus c you can cancel out from numerator and denominator to say that it's equal to b by c. Now you know that a by b equal to b by c because they are in continued proportion. So the left hand side a by b and the right hand side b by c are actually equal. So you're proving the required relation. In question number 8, you have to find the least number to subtract from the given terms which are in continued proportion. So 7, 17 and 47 are in continued proportion after each of them are subtracted with the same number, right? So you can write the proportion as 7 minus x is to 17 minus x, as 17 minus x is to 47 minus x. This will be the continued proportion after you subtract x. Now you have to find the value of x. So again, product of the extremes is equal to product of the means. And then when you expand and simplify, the x squared term gets cancelled. You only have equation with x. If you simplify and solve further, you will get the value of x as 2. Now in the last question, question number 10, it's given that q is the mean proportional between p and r. So you know that the proportion is like p is to q as q is to r. So product of the extremes PR is equal to product of the means, which is q square. Now again, you can simplify the left hand side and right hand side separately to see whether they are equal. The left hand side is pqr into p plus q plus r whole cube. Now you can rearrange pqr to write p into r into q. Because p into r is q square, I can replace that and write q square into q. So I get q cube into the cube of p plus q plus r. Then in the right hand side, I have pq plus qr plus pr whole cube. And from here, I can replace pr to be q square from the previous relation. And in the first two terms, q is common, so I can write q into p plus r. Now again, in these two terms, there is one q which is common. If I take that out, I have p plus r plus q. So within the whole cube, I have q into p plus q plus r, and then taking cube of these two numbers separately, I have q cube into p plus q plus r whole cube. So I can see that the left hand side and the right hand side are equal. So the given relation is proved. You could have also taken the left hand side from here, and you could have taken the entire cube like this, q into p plus q plus r whole cube. Same thing. And then if you multiply q with each of these terms, you have pq plus q square plus qr whole cube, and then replace q square to be pr. So you have pq plus pr plus qr whole cube, and this is same as the right hand side. Any way you want, you can prove it. So that completes the proof. and these were the questions which were given for you to solve. The remaining questions we can look at it in class.